the beliefs of the religious are very offensive to me. When I have to read in the newspapers that if I don't accept a bogus story about a supposed human sacrifice that took place in Jerusalem in something like AD 1933, if I don't accept this, I'm going to hell. If I don't accept this wonderful offer, I'm extremely offended. I think of all the cruelty and violence and misery and stupidity that's been inflicted by that. I do not go and burn down the nearest Baptist or Catholic church. I'd be ashamed of myself if I did. I don't call for people to form mobs to vindicate my hurt feelings. I don't do it. The Archangel Gabriel never said a word to the peasant Muhammad. Not a word. The event as described did not take place. I feel quite certain in saying so. Any more than the Archangel Gabriel announced himself to the non-Virgin Mary. I find it repellent to have to hear of people and the way they're treated who live under systems where that stuff is believed. It couldn't be more offensive to me. Who's ever going to say, well, if your feelings are hurt, Christopher, you're perfectly entitled to go burn down a newspaper or a house of worship. Right. Well, how contemptible can you possibly get? I'm an atheist. I wouldn't put a bomb in the Samara Dome. I have a natural human resistance to profanity. It comes from Antigone. It comes from Sophocles. It doesn't come from monotheism. No, it means that if whatever you do, they will find a reason to take offense. And when they've done that, they think it's their axiomatic right to go straight to violence of the most criminal kind, including, you represent the United Nations here, Shashi, for heaven's sake. Violations of diplomatic immunity, one of the most precious gains of human civilization. No, one has to oppose this 100%. Come on, this is not serious. I'm not going to live under the dictatorship of people like this. I'm not going to listen to their opinions. I'm not going to respect them. I'm going to say, no, you keep it to yourself. Do not dare address me. Do not dare talk to me as if you're warning me when I comment on this. I won't have it. I won't be talked to in that tone of voice. Because, as Karl Marx so brilliantly put it, the criticism of religion is the beginning of all criticism. If you don't have the right to criticize religion, you have no right at all. It is the most important argument that we have, ever since the dawn of civilization. What about the most important minority in the history of the world? Those who have never believed in God, those who believe that an ethical life is possible without religion, those who have studied the stuff and know that Judaism is derived from ancient race myths and that Christianity is a plagiarism of that, and Islam an even worse plagiarism of the two above, who don't want it. There are lots of us. Actually, the largest branch of the humanist movement in the world is probably in India, which has a wonderful secular tradition. We have to be insulted and outraged every day by what we see and what we read. By slaughter and murder. Slaughter and murder and barbarism and insult and superstitious nonsense. We do not reply in kind. We don't say, we'll go and kill you if you go on insulting us like this. Do we get no credit for saying this? When has anyone ever said, what's it like to be insulted as someone who thinks that civilization's a real thing? Why is it always interfaith? Why is it always interdenominational? Why can't we say that all of these cults are equal and equivalent glimpses of the untrue?
But what...